Good morning. Muy buenos días y bienvenidos a Kean University. I am Ada Morel, Chair of the Kean University Board of Trustees, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees, we extend all our welcome. Now, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce the President of Kean University, Dr. Dawood Farahi.
Good morning. That was lame. Good morning. Now we're talking. Thank you, Madam Chair, for that very warm welcome and your tireless dedication to this university, and especially your friendship. Thank you very much. Before I get started, I would like to recognize some of the special guests that are here from the Board of Trustees and different constituencies of the university. Dr. Tom Bastocki, Board of Trustees, Ms. Linda Lewis, Board of Trustees, Mr. Ed Oatman from the Board of Trustees, Kristen Fiala, Student Trustee, Ann Evans Estabrook, Vice Chair of the Wenjo Kean Board of Trustees, a two-time graduate of Kean University, and my hometown mayor, Chris Bolwich, Mr. John Kean Sr., the President of Liberty Hall, Dr. Margaret McMenamin, President of Union County College, Freeholder Al Maravilla, a member of Wenjo Kean Board of Trustees, Pat Barksdale, a member of the Kean University Foundation Board, Ed Esposito, President of the Alumni Association, Jane Boziak, the Alumni Board Member, Carol Blumenfield, Alumni Board Member, Tony Brennan, a member of the Alumni Board, Stacy Hayes Johnson, a member of the Alumni Board, Jennifer Van Dyke, also a member of the Alumni Board. Thank you for coming. And last but not least, we also have a special guest who flew all the way from Minnesota yesterday, and he's supposed to go back to Minnesota this afternoon. I'm really touched that you could be here, Jim. It's been 60 years since Jim was accepted to Kean University. Part of the story that you may not know, the first time when he applied, he got rejected. Was that true, Jim? Yeah, okay. But now, he's one of the most generous donors to this university. He's also on the Wenjo Kean Board of Directors. You have been to Jim Hines Baseball Stadium. You have been to Carol and Jim Hines Field House. He is just one great human being. Thank you, Jim, for coming. Here's what Jim said about Kean. Did you guys show that? Did I skip it? He said, Kean turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to a guy like me from Elizabeth, New Jersey. Well, Jim, with all of these accolades, I have one ask from you. Do you know what it would be? Well, give my best to Carol. Jim is an example of what Kean University can do. It's also my honor to welcome all of you today, and thank you for taking the time to be here. You saw at the beginning of your entry over here all of the achievements of faculty and staff that were going over the screen. It used to make it to the text of the speech, but if I were to do it now, we'll be here 2.5 hours, and Josh Palgi would miss the reception. to which he was looking forward for the last 3 days. And none of you would want that. We will share all of these stories on our new website, and if you haven't had a chance to take a look at it, you should. Great job, Karen Smith and the University Relations people. Our greatest investment is always in people and the faculty and staff that we hire. And we have hired more than any other university in our group in New Jersey since July 1 of 2017. A total of 321 faculty and staff have joined Kean University. Of this group, there's 128 full-time faculty at Kean USA, 80 full-time faculty at Wenjo Kean University, 35 managers in academic areas for student support. Some of you are here. Please stand up and be recognized. Thank you. Thank you very much. We continue to invest in our facilities and grounds for one simple reason. Our students deserve simply the best. Look at the newest thing they're getting.
I'm happy to announce the opening of our new residence hall, Cougar Hall. It is for our freshman residents that will be coming to join us in the fall semester.
Cougar Hall is centrally located on the campus. It's in close proximity to all of our class buildings, and Harwood Arena is just across the street, and that makes it extremely convenient for athletes here.
The community in Cougar Hall consists of 2 bedrooms with 2 students in each bedroom. We're excited about some new amenities within the suite itself, because it also includes a semi-kitchen.
Living on campus is beneficial and crucial for students, especially the freshman community, since they are adjusting from their high school careers into the college career, and they're still learning about themselves.
I feel that I'm more focused on my classwork and my work schedule. There are many resources like tutors and your peers to help you succeed in class that you wouldn't necessarily get had you lived at home.
Cougar Hall is a major part of this vision that Dr. Farahi has.
Because of its community, its programs, its mentoring staff and RA staff, I feel is going to be a great year for the new incoming students.
Cougar Hall is our first public, private partnership. We have over 380 beds in this particular facility. And that brings in the total number of freshmen that live on campus to 740. 740, Jim, is the number of freshmen that live on campus now. That's more than the entire population of King College when you got in. We also are working on providing learning opportunities like no other in the state of New Jersey. Our Highland campus, Felice tells me, will be done by the end of this calendar year. And by the way, thank you, Felice Vasquez, for bringing in the P3 project on schedule and on time. It's the nature's own educational facility inside a 1,200-acre state park. Look at what we have done so far.
This is a very exciting time at the Kean Highlands campus. When construction is finished, it's really going to provide Kean a unique opportunity for the students to get out of the classroom and into nature. Kean Highlands is located in Jefferson Township, so it's about an hour's drive northwest of main campus.
This campus is going to be an amazing opportunity for our students, our faculty, and community partners. There's so much that happens when you get out there amongst the beautiful scenery, up on the canopy walk, and in a new environment. The site is actually a former abbey, which we affectionately call the Lodge.
We are growing from the original natural site to a new state-of-the-art facility. After the renovation of the lodge, we moved on to the next phase of construction, which is the canopy walkway. The canopy walkway stretches throughout the entire campus. It's at treetop levels and offers very exciting views of the entire site. The canopy walkway brings you to the treehouse, a 3-story, completely open-air structure that gives students the opportunity for outdoor learning, and professors will be able to teach immersive studies nestled into the environment of the Highlands. Phase 3 of construction, the cabin is a 4-story classroom building, and it's located at the extreme end of the canopy walkway. As an architecture student, working at Kane Highlands has given me hands-on experience very early on in my education. I'm very excited for classes to start so that everyone can come and experience Kane Highlands.
Thank you. Experiential learning is where we ought to be. Experiential learning is what distinguishes us from online operations. Experiential learning is what will attract the students to do things and learn from doing it. To be competitive, our students also need clinical learning experiences. Renovation of our laboratories in biology and chemistry is already underway. We have done 4 of those, and the rest of them will be done by the end of 2019. Our biology and chemistry labs were 30 years old. We no longer dissect frogs. We do it differently. Let Brian Teasdale tell you.
The need for qualified healthcare professionals in the United States is growing. We have to meet that demand. This actual renovation doubles our space when it comes to what we can provide in the way of instruction for these type of human body courses. And that's huge. We've renovated, at this point, 4 rooms. 2 of these are for anatomy and physiology, neuroscience, and a lot of these human body courses. It also includes a tutoring room, as well as a lecture room that also has technologies that allow us to connect to Wenzhou. The new facilities that we have really helps prepare students because we really have to bring them into the 21st century. We have to provide them instructional use at a high level of technological savvy. We want students to come in and the room to just pop. By having these touchscreen, large monitors that they can see anywhere in the room, we can bring in software that we couldn't do in the old labs. These tools help our faculty make that experience with the students so much better. We've grown a lot. We feel like we're putting in the work and providing a really good experience for students. And I don't think we're ever going to be done. And I think that's part of being a good institution, is realizing we can always make changes every year to make it even better.
You also know about Willis Hall. How many of you know where Willis Hall is? Willis Hall inflicted its last revenge on the university this summer, and that is true. The first week of August, its air conditioning system totally failed. And it would take hundreds of thousands of dollars to fix it, but it wouldn't be fixed till late October, in which case we have to turn it off and put the heating system in. The leaky, dilapidated Willis Hall was required to be demolished 6 years ago by the master plan, but we didn't have all of the facilities we needed to put people in. I'm sorry for the people who are in Willis Hall now. We're moving them to different facilities of the institution, but I think the reason Willis Hall actually failed is it saw its competition, the new business college, the Business and Public Management College. This facility is going before the Board of Trustees in a couple of weeks for their approval, and we expect it to be finished by 2020. All of business and public management programs will move into its new house. You knew that, Jimmy, did you? It doesn't have a name on it. Just mentioning. The American treasure that is Liberty Hall is the home of the Kane family, the first governor of New Jersey, now part of Kane University. And it has not only amazing historical things, but we found wine in Liberty Hall. I told you last year that we found wine that is 220 years old. Maybe some is vinegar, Mr. Kane, but it is old. So the Christie's auction house thought that these wines could be sold, and Mr. Kane's son, John Kane Jr., on our board thinks that many of the bottles will bring in $50,000 or more. Parapolito, are you here? You got the money, get a couple of these bottles. But in Liberty Hall, we're also building an academic building, which will be the new home of our history department, and it will have 2 exhibit halls in which we will display the amazing treasures of Liberty Hall. Take a look. Then we went to China. Is there anybody from China here? I want you guys to stand up so they can see. They are coming from Wenzhou Kane University. And there are, thank you, and there are 2,000 of them in China. And this year we took a full complement of 700 full-time students in China. How did we? And as I speak, the Vice President for Administration, Mr. Brennan, has 16 of our kids in Hong Kong. They will fly to Wenzhou either this afternoon. The time is about 12 hours difference. They may already be in Wenzhou. And they're excited like you've never seen him before. Just imagine a kid from Elizabeth in Newark go over the North Pole, land in Hong Kong in 14 hours, and then go to a university that looks and feels like Kane USA. In 2006, we saw an opportunity to create a campus in China. At the time, the party secretary for Zhejiang province, in which Wenzhou is located, came to Kane. We had a conversation. Many of our former students worked for this gentleman. And lo and behold, the guy became the president of China, Xi Jinping. And he said, there's so many people from Wenzhou and Zhejiang province want to come to your university. We can't afford sending all of them at one time. And I said, well, Mr. Chairman, there's another way of doing it. You give me the money to build, the land to build it on, and we will have a Kane in Wenzhou. He kept his word, we kept our word. Now we have over 120 full-time faculty members and 40 other administrators at Wenzhou Kane, and these beautiful people you just saw is just the first group that come for a semester to study here. This is an achievement that no other public university in America can claim. Do I have a video on that? And see where they go. Oh, you skipped too fast. Our Wenzhou graduates get accepted to some of the best colleges and universities in the world, not only in Hopkins and University of Pennsylvania and Virginia in here, but also the University College of London, in Australia, in Germany. They are doing fantastic. Now the video.
The opportunity to go and study in Wenzhou is probably one of the most attractive things about King University, because it's not like it's in a different town or state. This is across the world. You got the Cougars everywhere. You see the mascot. You see the cane shirts, and it feels very comfortable.
It's a really exciting moment at Wenzhou Kane University. There are new facilities, new academic programs, an expanding student population, there are more faculty, and all of these elements are predicated on the idea that there's a global future, and these resources all work together to give new global opportunities to our students.
I enjoyed the cultural aspect of it. Wenzhou Kane took us to Beijing, we went to Hangzhou. How many times do you get to say that I went to China? I just really appreciate that Kane is actually thinking about me as a student. They want me to explore, not just to stay in this little box. I just thought it would be a great experience, and it really was.
I'm asking the faculty here to explain the benefit of going to China for our students. Not only they will mix with our Wenzhou students and maybe learn a little bit Mandarin, and they learn a little bit English from them, but think of the opportunity when they go to the employer and somebody asks, have you been outside the United States? And the guy goes like, yeah, I've been to China for a semester. That is an opportunity that no other public university in New Jersey can offer. Their financial aid will be identical, and it applies. We have an agreement with the U.S. Department of Education that it applies because it's an additional location of Kane. And the Sobel Family Foundation, which Barbara, as a member of our Board of Trustees, gives you $2,000 to go there, $1,500 to buy a round-trip ticket, and $500 to go see the Great Wall of China. If you have the grade and have a 3.0 GPA and your program is available in China, you should go. It is much different than you could possibly imagine. And when you land in Shanghai, you will see New York City on steroid. And the experience of a lifetime will be amazing. We tried for the last 5 years to show people the Kane that we have become. We offer, as you saw, many programs in our 7 different theater venues, in our 5 art galleries, in our homecomings, in our Human Rights Conference Center, in our football championships, Special Olympics, in open houses and homecoming. Last year, over 212,000 people visited Kane USA. These visitors become ambassadors for Kane. They can tell people, and that's why we're achieving in many, many areas because of the goodwill that's generated by them. 5 years ago, we started a very aggressive campaign to attract full-time, first-time freshmen to Kane University. Why? The number of people from community colleges have dropped drastically, and online education pretty much takes one of every 3 adult students over the age of 24. So what do we need to do? We need to bring in first-time, full-time freshmen. These have a higher graduation rate if they stay on campus, and we have done a fantastic job this year, one of the strongest enrollment in many years. Thank you, Marcia McCarthy and the enrollment services people. On this group, not only we compete in New Jersey and the surrounding states, but we're also competing nationwide and global. This is a tough group. Everybody wants the same people. Everybody's fighting for the same people. And with the help of every one of you in this room, we will win this battle. We have to win this battle. As part of our Vision 2020, we have put in a lot of programs and projects to make sure that the totality of the educational experiences at Kane is unmatched by any of our competitors. Our new strategic plan will be a little different and focus on new things, but the existing plan that will finish in 2020, Sue Bousquet has done an amazing job, and we're 90% where we promised to be. The building blocks, the building blocks of the future strategic plan is in this plan, and let me tell you about some of them that we have done that has produced amazing results. We embarked on a path to establish undergraduate research opportunities 10 years ago, with less than 56 students, I'm told. The research days last year attracted 900 students doing research. Let's take a look.
This is the 10th anniversary of Research Days. It's been an amazing event. The reason it's so important for Kane University is that it opens the doors for our students to graduate programs, to professional schools, and to successful careers. Undergraduate Researcher of the Year, this year's awardee goes to Sarah Mack.
Research Days is an amazing time when everyone across campus can come together and tell each other about the research that they're doing. It's very beautiful because it's so interdisciplinary and there's really people from all across the different majors.
I think it's very important for Kane University students to participate in research. They get that outside of the classroom experience, the hands-on experience, working within their related fields. They get in all of these, and this will help them prepare them for their futures in their fields or in their next step of life.
Don't just scratch the surface, dig deeper into the details. So always try to understand how this stuff happens.
As an engineer, as someone who is a science enthusiast, it's so important for Kane to host events like Research Days to give them the opportunity to see the research that's going on and to really invest themselves in the science that they're doing.
The best research is not bound by rules. It allows students to explore beyond the boundaries, to try something new. And that's what we're celebrating today.
And here is the stunning thing about this program. The 5-year graduation rate of the 900 and change students that participate in Research Days is 92%. Did you hear me? 92%. This is triple the university average. That's what happens when aspiring students join up with dedicated faculty and get engaged in research. I've already challenged the provost to double this number in 3 years, and with the help of all of the new faculty we have, just imagine you took 4 students under your wing to do this. It'll be easily over 2,000. I hope you do it, and I ask you that you should try to do that. Number 2, our students back in the old days didn't engage in community service that much, but we started a program called Leadership in Service that allows our students to go to different parts of New Jersey, different part of the United States, and help out with community service. That allowed us to be on the President's Honor Roll 6 years in a row. And last year, our students donated 66,000 hours of community service. Thank you, Janice, Maxie, and especially Mr. Scott for a job well done. Actually, his name is Snowden. So his name is Scott Snowden. I call him Mr. Scott. He was my student before he had a beard. Another thing that is important, and we must do, and the board has already approved funding for it, is to create a comprehensive career services program. When you go for a job, the first thing they ask you, do you have any experience? Well, I work at Mickey D's. No. Any experience. Within the next 3 years, every student of Kane University who wants an internship, who wants a career development opportunity in a company, in a business, a government entity, will be provided with one. And finally, we need to find ways of opening the door for deserving students who don't have the financial resources to come to Kane. This spring, the Board of Trustees approved the Centennial Scholarship Fund that would allow up to 200 gifted and talented students with a family income of $75,000 or less to come to Kane with 80% of their tuition paid for. No other university in New Jersey can say that. By changing our way of doing things, by providing access and opportunity to deserving students, we will never stray from the mission of quality and opportunity here at Kane USA. We have accomplished a great deal, but I know the future belongs to the generations that will carry forward what we have already started. Many of you may remember the Kane of 10 years ago. Many of you walked the grounds of Kane today and the facilities and structures of Kane today. We have changed. We have changed dramatically. We have changed drastically. But I offer you something else. There are areas in which we have not changed, and we must. We must do a transformation in the areas of the curriculum that we offer, the manner in which we offer it, for the benefit of those who come to Kane 10, 15, and 20 years from now. Do you have a picture of my grandchild? There you go. Now, this is serious grandpa business. That little one was born August 16, so she's not even 3 weeks old. So why am I showing you that? Because she is so beautiful. That she is. And any disagreement on that is grounds for serious confrontation. But the reason I brought that picture to your attention is my granddaughter will be part of the class of 2040. I want you to think about your children and your grandchildren and the education that they would demand 10 and 15 years from now. I want you to think about the processing power that is in the hands of the kids now. Just think. And in 10 years, it will be equipped with artificial intelligence. And by the time you write a concept on the board, they have already Googled the bloody thing before you even start explaining it to them. Quit the fight that they shouldn't bring their cell phone to class. You would lose that fight. I lost it as a father. My daughter slept with the cell phone. It was under her pillow. It took me weeks to figure out where she hid it. This thing is attached to them as part of their body. And the new ones, 5 to 10 years from now, with artificial intelligence, they can do wonders. And some of our kids actually did that. They came up with the idea, a problem that I have. They were not very nice. The pollen season comes in, and you start going like this and like that. Look at what our kids did.
We've been looking at this issue of pollen and how do we do more with the science around pollen. When talking about this idea came up of the pollen tracking app.
AccuPollen is a way for you to get real pollen counts in your area. You'll be able to use that to help decide when you should start your medications. You'll be able to put in your symptoms. You'll be able to put in what medicine you're taking and see how those two relate.
The healthcare provider will know what they're allergic to and either direct it to specific immunotherapy or general pharmacotherapy, which most people take over-the-counter medication. I saw this as an opportunity for students to understand the impact on pollen and health. 20 to 40% of the United States are allergic to pollen. So this has an incredible health impact, and with the research that's being done or the projects that are underway already, they will be able to actually see the pollen count that's being done here at Kean University.
The system that we use is called a rotorod. We let it collect for about 24 hours and then count the pollen, so they have the data and can provide it to the new app that we've got.
The pollen app allows us to make use of existing large data resources and take that, make it visible, learn the programming skills to put it forward, learn the science to understand it. So we get to really cross a lot of intellectual domains with one project, showcasing what Kean University does. It may not be the flu, but it's just a constant irritant that affects your day. And if there's a way to help allergy sufferers to not have that, I think that makes their lives better.
Now, I want you to visualize what kind of a college experience will you design for Vision 2030 or Vision 2040 for my granddaughter. I have little skin left in the game, but I want to tell you, in order for us to survive and not go obsolete, we cannot keep doing what we always did over and over again because it's easy, because it's convenient, because it doesn't require additional work. Our choice is either to pioneer a new educational system or wait for the waves of change to bury us under 3 feet of sand. And that will happen if we did not change. Here are the facts. And I want you to pay attention for a minute or two to what I'm about to say. Today's graduates of Kean University in 2022, the class that just came in, will change jobs a minimum of 4 times. 4. 2, 40% of the jobs that they will see in 2030 do not exist today. Are you with me? 40% of the jobs in 2030 do not exist today. So what's going to happen? Your perception and my perception, as it used to be, that higher education is inoculated against change. We keep doing things and they keep coming, is inaccurate. And nobody is immune to the seismic change of the global economy. And nobody could stop globalization, and nor should we. The brick and mortar vision of a higher education system conceived like a mall is not a winning business model. You know what a mall is? How many of you know what a mall is? You come to the mall, you go find the store that has the program you want, you spend $50,000 to $100,000 on that program to get a degree, then you go home and wait for a call to get a job. Ladies and gentlemen, this will not work in 2030. This cannot work in 2030. The only malls that could survive are the ones that provide value and quality. The Jersey Garden will survive, Short Hills would survive, and a whole bunch in between will have a difficult time or turn into bowling alleys. The good news is that at Kane, we know how to create value in quality programs. We have done that in health professions. You know that. Our physical therapy, our occupational therapy, our speech pathology, our STEM programs, they are not only the best in New Jersey, they're among the best in the United States of America. They tell me, on physical therapy, we take about 24 students. Shannon, you got to get that number up. But 600 people applied for it. All 600 are qualified. Just think about that. Think about the design and architecture. Think about communication. There are over 1,000 students in communication now. So what do you think I'm saying here? I'm saying you need to look at the curriculum in terms of the basic skills that they need to have regardless of what job they choose and regardless of how often they change those jobs. What do they need? They need critical thinking, they need analytical and data analysis skills, they need problem-solving skills, they need technological proficiency, they need communication skills. Writing, reading, and speaking, and so on. Every general education course and every distribution course on this campus must contain the outcomes in the assessment system associated with these 5 skills. You know what? We cannot exactly predict the future. But we can predict what would be the kind of skills that our graduates need in the future. We must transform our general education from the bottom up. We must transform our distribution system from the bottom up. And we should even thoroughly change the subject matter requirements for all the things that we offer at the undergraduate level. If we do that and offer clinical and experiential options for the students, they will succeed. And here's the good thing. The Board of Trustees has already approved $2 million for curriculum development and transformation. $2 million. And if that was not enough, I'll go ask for more. We have the infrastructure and the resources to get this job done. So get on the ball and get it done. It's not only the faculty responsible for this. It is every person that works at Kane University in all different capacities are responsible to make that transformation happen. If you ever need reassurance, I offer you the words of President Abraham Lincoln. And I'll leave you with this. If you ever doubt that transformation is the only path forward, listen to what President Lincoln said in 1862 to Congress. And it's on the board, but I'll read it anyway. The dogmas of the quiet past are inadequate to the stormy present. The occasion is piled high with difficulty, and we must rise with the occasion. As our case is new, so we must think anew and act anew. If you heed the advice of President Lincoln, we can do great things for this university, for our students, and especially for ourselves. Thank you for coming, and have a terrific new academic year. Thank you. Because of the heat, the reception is in the STEM building, so you don't have to walk that far. See you there, enjoy yourself, and thank you very much.